And I wanted to make sure that the City of Los Angeles understands that we are very grateful as a people to come together. And you know, we're Filipinos. It's a gathering. That's all you got to do. Just give us a chance to celebrate with other Filipinos, because what we really do is we find out we're related to somebody standing next to us and like, oh, we're related. You know how that goes. All the Filipinos are related. But I think it's going to be a great opportunity to show the Los Angeles Clippers that not only are we going to support their organization, but we're going to come forth together, because I don't think people understand the magnitude of, or the history of this event. This is going to be an historic event. It'll be the first time that anybody's tried to take a Filipino Hoops and Heritage tour throughout select cities to the NBA. I believe that the Filipino American community is ready to get involved with the NBA and support its teams. And this goes way beyond just supporting the Clippers. We're also, and I thank Andy for a generous donation. A portion of the tickets are going to go for disaster relief and typhoon relief to the Philippines. I also want to make sure people understand it's a great opportunity. I'm very fortunate, thank Jesus, and I want to make sure He gets the glory. I'm gracious for the life that I've lived, and they always say that God blesses us to be a blessing to others. And the bottom line about this is, I've lived my dream, and it's now my pleasure and honor to give young Filipino entertainers a chance to have a stage. And I also want to thank Andy for that. We have Filipino entertainment. We have a Filipino 9-year-old who I believe will be the next Charisse. She's that good, singing the national anthem. We have a pregame cultural performance with Kayamanan ng Lahi, UCLA-based cultural performance troupe. That'll be dancing, you know, a cultural dance. We also have a dance crew. We're trying to meet everybody at every level, and also to promote the wonderful talent that this culture has. It's going to be infinite possibilities. And yes, I could have chosen some of the bigger names, but that's not what this is about. It's about promoting our heritage. It's about giving young people an opportunity to follow their dreams. And I can't think of a better way to do it than at an NBA basketball game with the LA Clippers. I'm also looking forward to my best friend, John Lucas, when I was playing. And they just hired John, and I haven't seen John since he was dating my sister, so I got to slap his ass. Since, you know, you never hear the stories until after, 20 years after you hear, so before I give him a hug, I'm going to slap him upside his head. And I know he's probably going to look at me, because I used to have a big afro and I'm losing my hair, and I know he's bald now, so probably got a lot to share. But I just am very grateful, and like I said, I give God the glory. I know for a fact that the Filipino people are going to show up to this, and we're going to come strong. And I know, my mother taught me one thing about the Filipino heart. If the cause is right, doesn't matter who you are, the Filipino heart will be there. And I know this is a great cause, and I know just getting the NBA and the teams to give money to the cause back in our islands is important, and it's close to me. I'm not just some Filipino American. I have family that live on Banawe Street in Quezon City. I have family that live in Taal, where our family is. I've also been using this platform to talk to our young Filipino Americans to find out, go back and find out who sacrificed back in the islands for you to follow your dream and have the education you have, the opportunity you have. Somebody in your family line sacrificed much for you to have these opportunities. I am very grateful to be that ambassador, to push forth in all these endeavors. I want to thank each and every one of you for coming today and supporting this. And the basic thing, we have about 2 weeks before the event. I'm not sure that a lot of the Filipino American community here know about it. So I'm entrusting that you're going to do your part to make sure that our community is aware of this great historic celebration on December 5th here at Staples. So thank you once again. I'm very, very honored and grateful. I'll answer any questions if there are certain questions, and I'm going to turn it back over to Winston Imano. I have a cousin here. His name is David Magdale, and he runs Magdale and Associates here. And David, can you stand? This is related to my mother. I mean, I don't know what happened. I can tell you one thing about me. The only characteristic I had that I was Filipino is I had a Filipino nose, and it got broke by a 6'8" forward. Just literally broke. And when they gave me a new nose, I begged the nurse, and I looked at her and I said, please go back in that refrigerator. My mom will kill you if you don't give me my Filipino nose back. And this is the one they gave me. Yes, I had an afro. And it's a very good question. The Filipinisms, I remember we used to go up to Stockton. That's where all our families were, was in Stockton. And even to this day, if I'm laying down in a living room and I hear talking in the back, we used to all pull up in our sleeping bags. Family is everything for Filipinos. And we used to get together all the time. We'd always take that 2-hour drive to Stockton and get together, or our families would come down. The food, with the dinuguan and the pancit and the babinkas and the lumpias, and the only thing I didn't like is when President Ramos brought me over to the Philippines. I had to go back to Taal, and they had this big piece of meat, and I thought it was a nice filet mignon, and we were in this wonderful outdoor. They set up the thing. They had the pig on the yes, whatever. But and I remember I took a bite of this meat and it was so good, and all of a sudden I just couldn't chew it. I was chewing and chewing and it just wouldn't go down, and I moved it to the other side and I did like 90 chews and the thing just wouldn't, and all of a sudden I was like trying to think, and I was trying to be really diplomatic, and Clifford Ray already finished his because he was on that tour, and I took the gravy off and it had all these holes in it. And I was eating a cow's tongue. And I had no idea. But in terms of just family, in terms of always being there with the heart, Filipino heart, in terms of watching my mother as a Filipino serve community without anything. You know, we didn't have a lot to give, but she sure gave her heart and her time. Those kind of things stick with me. Knowing that the Filipino will always stand by you, the loyalty, the integrity of the Filipino people. Those are the things that make me realize. And something I shared with Corinne when I talked to you a little bit earlier, the other thing I wanted to do is I wanted to make my mom proud. My mom she's like, she passed away, and I just want to carry on her legacy of serving. And I'm so sorry. It's my mom, and I know right now she's looking down, and I know she's proud of her son carrying on her heritage and giving back at a time when, in your 50s, when you're looking at trying to figure out what you can do. I know she's proud that I've chosen this path to give back to the Philippine people.